In a vivid night thick with drama, Lille hosted PAOK in a Europa League group match and delivered a 7-goal extravaganza. Calvin Verdonk stood out with his efforts, but even his strong performance couldn't reverse the early damage. The supporters witnessed a roller coaster of emotions as the match shifted repeatedly, yet ended in disappointment at home. PAOK wasted no time setting the game alight, as Maite, a name familiar to Lille's fans, netted first at 18 minutes. Zivkovic then doubled the lead mere minutes later, and Constantelias pushed it to 3-0 before the break. Lille's backline was shaky, and the momentum was fully with the visitors as the home side found themselves reeling. At the break, Lille faced an uphill battle with a 3-goal hole to climb out of on home turf. The staff recognized the urgency. This was a defining moment in their European campaign. Their earlier successes in the group now seemed far removed, and the atmosphere in the stadium turned tense as hope shifted into desperation. The restart saw Lille stir into action, with Verdonk's involvement becoming a catalyst. His corner found Andre at 57 minutes, and Lille suddenly had a glimmer of hope. The crowd lifted, the tempo rose, and it seemed for a spell that the home side had found their fighting spirit to challenge the deficit. Verdonk struck again. His set piece found Egame at the 68th minute, and Lille were suddenly within touching distance. The momentum had clearly shifted. The visitors were no longer carefree, the hosts hungrier. It became a contest defined by swings and the belief that a comeback might just be on. The comeback dream was briefly halted as Zivkovic struck a second personal goal at minute 74, restoring PAOK's 2-goal advantage. The emotion switched from belief to frustration for Lille. That mountain ahead grew steeper again, and their defense looked overexposed once more. Against all odds, Lille struck again at 78 minutes. Egame connected with another chance and leveled the contest at 3-3. The fans erupted, the atmosphere shifted, and suddenly the narrative felt like a comeback script. Verdonk's role was central, and belief had returned to the stands. Then, in the dying moments, PAOK were reduced to 10 as Kenjora saw red, giving Lille an unexpected lifeline. The home side now had numbers and momentum. The crowd rose, and the belief was near in the air that late magic would strike. In spite of their numerical edge and lifted spirit, Lille did not break through for a winner. PAOK defended with resilience, Lille attacked with urgency, and yet the decisive goal eluded them. The final whistle arrived with a 4-3 scoreline in favor of the visitors, and the home disappointment was deep. The outcome also stopped Lille's unblemished run in this Europa League group phase. The earlier wins had set a tone, but this loss introduced sharp reality. It highlighted that in Europe, success is fragile, mistakes multiply fast, and the margin for error is minimal. From a personal standpoint, Verdonk's night was impressive. He added an assist, delivered a key pass, and made dynamic runs from the left-back position. Analysts praised his balance of defense and attack, yet even strong individual metrics can't always rescue the collective outcome in football. Coaches will likely dwell on the early damage here. Lille's defense was unsettled, gifted PAOK momentum, and fell behind too early. The second-half fightback demonstrated grit, but ensuring they don't surrender the opening remains key. Tightening up transitions and maintaining focus from the whistle are critical. For PAOK, the night showcased resilience. Their early dominance gave them buffer, and even when their lead evaporated, they didn't crumble. When Lille pushed with numbers and fervor, PAOK responded with defense and discipline. Ultimately, they walked away with a prize despite the chaos. The impact on the group climb is major. Lille's loss narrows their safety margin. With points precious in group play, each drop threatens to complicate the path forward. They must reset fast so the qualification campaign doesn't veer off track and turn into a scramble. Lille supporters experienced an emotional roller coaster. Stunned early, energized mid-match, and wounded at the end. The revival showed promise. The crowd believed. but the final blow crushed the mood. The memory of this one will stick with the fans long after the final whistle. The upcoming test for Lille is how they respond. Reflecting is healthy, but turning near miss into learning is crucial. Almost stories vanish in results. They need consistent performance, quick starts, and mental strength, not only to fight back, but to maintain position. Verdonk's display is a positive takeaway for both him and the club. His attack-minded defending adds a dimension that Lille can build around. If he stays confident and the team supports him, his role might become pivotal. The coaching staff might emphasize his strengths in upcoming strategy. This match underlines the wild nature of football. Big leads can evaporate, comeback momentum can fade, and pressure moments define the outcome. Lille must examine their breakdowns and recovery arcs. PAOK can reflect on how they held together and secured a win amid chaos. Psychologically, falling 3 goals behind so early creates a hugely difficult position. It shakes confidence, requires risk, and invites more openings. Lille's resurgence showed guts, but the weight of the early deficit still hung. Preventing such deep holes is essential, alongside the ability to recover. Tactically, set pieces and strategic deliveries had massive impact. Verdonk's quality from corners and eggs set Lille's comeback in motion, while PAOK's early speed and transitions built their lead. Small margins, the right pass, the correct block tilted this match. The coaches will comb through those details. From the viewpoint of the group campaign, Lille's defeat adds pressure to subsequent matches. They cannot afford to slip again. The trajectory of their European run, in the broader campaign context, this defeat makes Lille's path harder. Mistakes now cost more. Their European journey depends on not just playing well, but sustaining it, staying sharp, and avoiding careless lapses. The difference between advancing and falling short is shrinking fast.
Fans saw both triumph and tragedy entwined. Verdonk shone, and Lille fought back, but heartbreak took the final bow. Football can craft these emotional extremes in a single game, inspiration and anguish side by side. The memory of this one will echo. For the rest of the season, Lille face a fork. Let this be fuel for growth, or let self-doubt seed. Their actions in the days ahead, how they train, how they reset, how they respond, will determine whether this is a launching pad or a decline. The choice is theirs. Upcoming games will probe Lille's strength of mind. The impact of this match might linger. Guarding versus poor starts, keeping defense intact, and converting attacking vigor into goals is vital. If they manage those, the comeback vibe could switch from almost to achieved. In the end, the results scoreboard isn't the only narrative. It's a tale of Lille's collapse, Verdonk's strong show, and the fine line drawn between triumph and loss. For Lille, the message is unambiguous. How you start and finish counts, and everything in between demands fight. To sum up, Lille were beaten 4-3 at home by PAOK in a dramatic Europa League match. Verdonk stood out with assist and energy, but the early meltdown cost the team. Their comeback was brave, yet insufficient. This loss stops their winning streak, flags defensive issues, yet also highlights what the team can do if they fix their weak spots.